Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody can hear my voice and see the presentation on the screen. Okay. So, we are going to do a very interesting topic from analytical reasoning, the most commonly asked and one of the most major topics in the reasoning section of any entrance examination, and that is good old puzzles. Now, I have done puzzles with a few batches in the past, right? And every time we can come up with new, different types of puzzles. And it's very interesting to understand and see how they can be solved, right? Different puzzles have different techniques which can be used. So rather than mugging up techniques, it's interesting to analyze by reading the given problem of how we can approach this particular thing. So that's what I have done today. I have put together a set of different puzzles. These are the most commonly asked puzzles in most of the exams. I'll be putting up these puzzles on the screen one by one. Some of them have a single question attached with them. Some of them have multiple questions attached with them, right? So with every question, I'll be giving you a minute or so to understand and solve it. And then I'll be showing you my method of solving it, right? Sometimes we can, when we are solving problems multiple times, we often come across newer methods of solving it. So let's see if the method by which I solve it is the same which strikes you or whether it's different. So without further ado, we are going to take a look at multiple puzzles today, starting with a simple one. So the first question is on the screen right now. It says that P, Q, R, S, and T are 5 speakers who have to speak on a particular day, not necessarily in that order, right? So it's not necessary that the order in which it is given is the order in which they are going to speak. R is neither the first nor the last speaker. There are 3 speakers after S and 3 speakers ahead of T. And if P speaks after Q, then who is the last speaker to speak? I believe this should not take us more than 15 to 20 seconds to solve. The moment you have read it, right, it should not take you more than 15 to 20 seconds to solve. Let's see who gets it. Did you get it? Did anybody get it so far? It's a simple puzzle. Come on, guys. Okay. Nope. No correct answers so far. Okay, Kunika got it. Very good. Kunika got it. Excellent. Sakshi also got it. Okay. Chalo, let us see. So there are 5 speakers who have to speak, right? So speaker number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 speakers. Now it is given R is neither the first one, so this is not R, nor the last speaker. So R is not in the first or the last position. Now it says there are 3 speakers after S. So after S there are 3 speakers. So 1, 2, and 3. So after S, if there are 3 speakers, then S is definitely in position number 2. And there are 3 speakers ahead of T. So ahead of T there are 3 speakers. So 1, 2, 3. So the 4th position is filled by T, right? And we also know that R is not in the first or fifth position. R cannot be in the second or fourth position. So R's position is filled at number 3. Now, the last clue says P speaks after Q, right? That means Q has to be ahead and P has to be behind. So, the order in which they speak, starting from the beginning, is Q, followed by S, followed by R, followed by T, and followed by P. So, who is the last speaker to speak? Obviously, the last speaker is P. So, the third option, C, is my answer to this question. Did everybody get this one? Relatively simple. You just have to interpret the given clues correctly. If you are careful in reading the clues and do it step by step, you will automatically always get the correct answer in a puzzle. Easy to confirm. Chalo. Next one. 5 persons A, B, C, D and E are being compared in weight and height, right? There are 2 characteristics on which they are being compared. One, arrangement according to weight, one, arrangement according to height. The second heaviest person, D, is the shortest. A is the second tallest and shorter than E. The heaviest person is the third tallest person. There is only one person shorter than B who is lighter than E and A respectively. So, who is the heaviest person in the group? Given all these clues, you have to identify who is the heaviest person in this group. Again, should not take more than 30 to 40 seconds. No, Kunika, check that. Second, no, that should be a comma. The second heaviest person, that's not a full sentence, right? So that has to be a comma. I made the change. The second heaviest person, D, is the shortest. Yes, Mana got it, Shubham got it. Kunika check कर लो एक बार. साक्षी करेक्ट. यस श्रेया. आरुषि चेक करो एक बार. प्रणव इज राइट. अर्जव नो. यस स्तुति दैट्स राइट. मन नो. आरुषि नो. Jia, correct. Arushi, now you are right. Okay, guys. So, there are 2 things on the basis of which they are given, right? One, I have to arrange them according to height, and one, I have to arrange them according to weight, right? So, height may be arrange them tallest to shortest, and weight may be we arrange them heaviest to lightest, right? So 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now it says the second heaviest person, D. So at number 2, the second heaviest person, D, is the shortest. So second heaviest person is according to weight. According to weight, the second heaviest person, D, is the shortest. So according to height, D is at 5th position. Now, A is the second tallest. So, A is the second tallest and shorter than E. A is the second tallest, and if A is shorter than E, then E must be the tallest person. The heaviest person, whoever is the heaviest, is the third tallest person, right? So, whoever, let's put this as person X. Whoever is the heaviest person, that person is the third tallest in terms of height. Now, there is only one person shorter than B. So if there is only one person shorter than B, that means this position is filled by C, which means for weight, the heaviest position is taken by C. Already I have answered the question that according to weight, the heaviest person is C. But we will still continue, right? There is only one person shorter than B who is lighter than E and A. So according to weight, if B is lighter than E and A, so now we know according to height, we have E, A, C, B and D. And according to weight, we have C, D, E, A and B. So obviously the heaviest person is option C, that is person C. Did everybody get this arrangement? Did everybody understand this arrangement? Yes? Very good. So if you understood this arrangement, then is the same question. What is the position of A in height and weight respectively? You have already solved it. So all you need to do is answer this. What is the position of A in height and weight? So according to height, we have already seen the arrangement was E, A, C, B and D. And according to weight, my arrangement was C, D, E, A and B. We are looking for the position of A. So here it is second, here it is fourth. So we are looking at the second and fourth position. See guys, if you solve the puzzle, answering all the questions in the set becomes a cakewalk, right? Multiple questions in a puzzle, but the solution does not take much time. So even if you take 1 or 2 minutes to solve the puzzle, but if there are 3 or 4 questions based on it, it is still worth it, right? So that's why puzzles are actually very easy. You get to spend a lot of time on them, and if it is a multi-question puzzle, you also score a lot of marks in them. And the good news is practically every exam has at least one and sometimes even 2 5-question puzzles in them. So 8 to 10 marks to sirf puzzle mein hi you can score, which is quite easy. And most of the exam puzzles till date I have seen, they usually ask the simple ones. Okay. So next one. 15 people entered a theater before Sujit. 7 people entered the theater between Sujit and Suraj, and 20 people entered the theater after Suraj. How many people are there in the theater? Yes, Param. Now this is a classic puzzle. It looks simple, but you have to think. This puzzle forces you to think. Shubham, think. It's not as straightforward as it looks. Param, why do you give that as the answer? How did you get that as the answer? Yes, perfect, Param, perfect. So guys, no Pranam, that's not the answer. No Mana, no hate. No. Think about it. No man. Hriday, that's not even an option. Nope. No Sakshi, no Kunika. Yes, hate, now it's right. Okay. So, let's take a look at the question and see what we will usually be doing in such a question, right? So, it says that 15 people entered the theater before Sujit. So, if this is Sujit, right? 15 plus 1 Sujit. Then 7 people enter the theater between Sujit and Suraj. and then 20 people enter the theater after Suraj. So 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7, 7 plus 7 14, 4, 1 carry forward, 1 plus 1 2 plus 2 4. So some of you did the calculation like this and thought that the answer is 44. Right. But guys, there is one more possibility. We do not know in what order Sujit and Suraj came. It's possible that first Suraj entered the theater and then Sujit entered the theater. Right? If this is the case, then Sujit and Suraj and 7 people in between them. But 15 people entered before Sujit. So before Sujit, if 15 people are there, then Sujit 1. Right? Before him already 8. So 7 more people here. And if 20 people enter the theater after Suraj, then after Suraj 8 people already here and 12 more people. If this is the case, then 7 plus 1 8, 8 plus 8 16, 16 plus 2 18, 1 carry 28. I can also have 28 as the answer. Right. Now, because I do not know who came first, was it Sujit or Suraj, my answer is cannot be determined. It could either be 44 or it can be 28. Did everybody understand it? The answer to this question is cannot be determined. See, we do not know who came first, right? In the question, it is not given who came first. If we assume that Sujit came first and then Suraj came, then Sujit and Suraj themselves are 1. Before Sujit 15, between Sujit and Suraj 7, and after Suraj 20, making a total of 44 people. But if Suraj came first and then was followed by Sujit with 7 people in between them, then before Sujit 15 people, so 7 plus 1 8 already there, 7 more. After Suraj 20 people, so 12 extra, only 28 people in this scenario. So I can do the calculation as either 44 or 28 because I don't know who came first. So obviously my answer has to be cannot be determined. Got it? Right. So now in this question it says if Suraj entered the theater before Sujit, right? Now it is specified and we have already solved it. So all you have to do is answer the question. If Suraj entered the theater before Sujit, right? In that case, how many people? So we have Suraj, then 7 people, then Sujit. Before Sujit, 15 people, so 7 more. After Suraj, 20 people, so 12 more, which makes it a total of 28. And we have already seen this, so obviously my answer is A. A total of 28 people are there in the theater. So remember guys, whenever 2 objects are given, we do not know their order, we have to consider both their orders, right? A followed by B or B followed by A. We have to consider all the possibilities. Correct? Okay. Now, this is simple, basic calculation, but you need to understand it. A, B, C, D, E, F are 6 cities which are collinear. Collinear means in a straight line. So A, B, C, D, E, F are 6 cities which are collinear in the same order. So they are in the order of A, B, C, D, E, F, same order. The distance between any two adjacent cities is equal. A bus starts at A for city F. It takes 25 minutes for the bus to travel from one city to another and stops for 5 minutes at each place. So, if the bus reaches E at 8:55, at what time did it reach station B? Yes, Shubham. That's correct. Param also got it. Very good. Yes, Manushi. Yes, you're right. Yes. No, Sakshi, check it once. थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन गड़बड़, एक सिर्फ एक एक पॉइंट आप मिस आउट कर गए और कुछ नहीं. श्रेया करेक्ट. So, what does it say? 6 cities A, B, C, D, E, and F. So, after it reaches a city, it stops for 5 minutes, and then from one city to another, it takes 25 minutes. So, at what time did it reach B? The moment it reaches here, then it will wait for 5 minutes, 25 minutes to travel, 5 minutes, 25 minutes to travel, 5 minutes, 25 minutes to travel, and it has already reached at this point. Right? So, how much time did it take? 25 plus 5, 30, 25 plus 5, 30. So, at this point, it is 1 hour. So, if it reached at 8:55, it has reached here at 7:55, and then 30 minutes before that, it had reached B. So 30 minutes before 7:25, that means at 7:25 it had reached point B. So A, 7:25 is my answer. This was pretty simple. Sakshi, do you get it? I think you forgot to take 5 minutes of B into account. When did it start from B is I think what you calculated. Yeah, when did it reach B was the question. So you have to include the 5 minutes there. Right? I think this was a pretty simple example. So most of us would have got it right. Most of us would have got it right. Okay. Now, P, Q, R, S, T, and U are 6 cities which are in a row in the same order. A bus B1 travels from P to U, and another bus B2 travels from U to P. B1 reaches S at 10:40. B2 reaches Q at 10:35. If the travel time between any two adjacent cities is 40 minutes and the stoppage at each city is 15 minutes, then at what time do they start at their respective destinations? Very similar to the previous question. You just need to do the calculations very carefully. Are you sure, Hit? Others? Yes, Manushi, very good. Yes, Hate. Okay. So see, from P you go to Q, then R, then S, then T and U. So bus B1 it starts from P and goes in this direction. Bus B2 it starts from U and goes in reverse. Now at every stop, at every station it stops for 15 minutes. So if it is at Q, R, S and T, then it will be stopping for 15 minutes. At P you don't count 15 minutes, at U you don't count 15 minutes. And similarly, the travel time between two stoppages is 40 minutes, right? So now it says bus B1 reaches S at 10:40. If it has reached here at 10:40, when did it start? So the times we have to calculate 40 plus 40 plus 40, that is 120 minutes, that is 2 hours, and 15 plus 15, that is 30 minutes. So 10:40 में से 2 hours 30 minutes, if I go back in reverse, I get the time 8:10, which is the time when it started at P, right? So either option C or option D. C or E, both of them have 8:10, so one of them. Now, second one. B2 reaches Q at 10:35. So when it reaches here at 10:35, that means 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40, that is 160, that is 2 hours 40 minutes, plus 15 15 15, that is 45 minutes. So 3 hours 25 minutes. Now 10:35 है, उसमें से 3 hours 25 minutes निकालेंगे. So obviously I will get 7:10 as my answer. So 8:10 and 7:10, these are the two numbers that we are looking for. Did everybody get this one? 8:10 and 7:10, these are the two numbers that we are looking for. If there is any confusion, don't hesitate to ask. Right? I hope everybody understood how we got these numbers. Okay. Now, similar question. In fact, the same question. Right? So, at which city do the two buses meet? Now this is very interesting, a bit of logic, right? We have already calculated the start time for both, right? The data is the same, so we know exactly when they started. Using that data, will you be able to tell at which point they meet? No man. Jia, that's correct. No, Pranav. Kunika, Mana, Sakshi, Manushi all got it right. Nahin, Sakshi nahin. Baki others got it right. Sakshi, check kar lo. So P, Q, R, S, T and U. The first B1, it starts at 8:10. The other one, it has already started at 7:10. This is what we knew, what we calculated in the previous question, correct? So at every stoppage, at every point, they wait for 15 minutes. and in between they travel for 40 minutes, right? So the point is, at 7:10 only B2 is moving. So first we have to check at 8:10 where will it be. So at 8:10 B2 would have traveled here and it would have reached here and it would have already spent 10 minutes here. No, sorry, it would have traveled 40, it would have traveled 15, and it would have traveled 5 more in this point. Do you get that? So it would be somewhere here at 8:10. Now both of them are traveling at the same speed. So approximately the meeting point would be R. Do you get it? Guys, do you understand? Rough estimate R कैसे आ गया अपना? Now, let's do this once again. See, based on the data which we used in the previous question, we have already seen that the starting time for both of them, right? So P, Q, R, S, T and U. B2 starts here at 7:10 and B1 starts here at 8:10. At every between 2 points they will be traveling for 40 minutes, and at every station they will be spending 15 minutes, right? This is the data that we have with that. This is the data which is already given. Now B at 7:10 B2 will start traveling, and till 8:10 only B2 will be traveling. So 7:10 to 8:10, 1 hour, that means it has crossed these 40 minutes, it has completed these 15 minutes, and it will be somewhere here at 8:10. Did you get it? At 8:10 where both of them will be. Hriday, did you get it so far? Okay, so now take a look at the scenario. One of them is here, one of them is here, both of them are traveling towards each other at same speed. Isn't this roughly the point where they should be meeting? 2 distances, 1 stoppage, roughly 2 distances and 1 stoppage. So this is technically the midpoint where they will meet. You get that? So R has to be my answer. I hope it is clear now to everybody. Okay. Now, interesting question. B1, B2 and B3 are 3 buses that travel from Mumbai to Delhi. Each bus starts at a different time and arrives at a different time. The digit in the bus number and the order of their departure or arrival is not the same. That means if the bus number is 1, then it cannot be the first to arrive, it will not be the first to depart, right? The numbers of the bus arrival sequence and departure sequence is not the same. Also, we know the first bus to leave Mumbai is the third bus to reach Delhi. The first bus to leave Mumbai is the third bus to reach Delhi. Then which is the second bus to reach Delhi? Are you sure, Kunika? Yes, Sakshi. No, Suham, no, Hriday. Heath, correct. So remember, the number of the bus, its arrival number and its departure number, they cannot be the same, right? So we have B1, B2 and B3, right? The numbers 1, 2 and 3. So arrival and departure में this one, B1 cannot be first in arrival or departure, B2 cannot be second in arrival or departure, B3 cannot be third in arrival or departure, right? So it says the first bus arrival में जो 1 है वो departure में 3 है. Arrival leave Mumbai and reach Delhi. So Mumbai से 1 है and Delhi में 3 है. So this has to be B2, right? मुंबई से फर्स्ट निकलता है, दिल्ली में थर्ड पहुंचता है. The 3 numbers must be different. So B2, M1, D3, all 3 numbers are different. Did you get it so far? The number of the bus cannot match with the number that it leaves and cannot match with the number with it reaches. All 3 must be different. Now, if I put this as M2, right, second to leave from Mumbai, and if I put this as, then this will become D3, right? 1, 2 and 3, but D3 is already taken. That means this cannot be D3, so this cannot be M2, right? So if I put this second to leave from Mumbai, that means first to reach Delhi, right? 3, 2 and 1. That means this has to be third to leave from Mumbai and second to reach Delhi. All 3 numbers are different. So the only bus which can match this criteria is B1, and that is my answer. Understood how we eliminated B3? Jia? Yes. Chalo. Now, I think this to we have already done, right? The first bus to leave Mumbai, M1 किसका है? समझ में नहीं आया मानुषी? चलो सेम क्वेश्चन है, वापस हम करते हैं, राइट? इक्वेशन का सेकंड क्वेश्चन है बट डेटा सेम है, सो वी कैन सॉल्व इट. सी द नंबर ऑफ द बस मुंबई से सीक्वेंस एट विच इट लीव्स एंड दिल्ली पे कौन से नंबर पे पहुंचता है, ऑल ऑफ देम हैव टू बी डिफरेंट. यू गेट इट मानुषी? दिस डेटा इज गिवन. चलो, so we have bus number 1, bus number 2 and bus number 3. Also, first bus to leave Mumbai is the third bus to reach Delhi. So 1 and 3 number कौन से बस का हो सकता है? First bus to leave Mumbai, third bus to reach Delhi can only be number 2 because all 3 numbers must be different. So इसके लिए this is number 1 and this is number 3. Understood that? Okay. So now, if I put this as number 2, then this is 3, but same 3 नहीं हो सकता. So this is not 2 and 3. So this is 3, this is 2, this is 2 and this is 1. ये सुडोको की तरह है. सब रोज एंड कॉलम सब अलग होने चाहिए. Simple. So first bus to leave Mumbai is obviously bus number 2. Right? Easy question to answer. Chalo, next one. In an international conference, scientists from 6 different countries are invited. They are from America, Germany, France, Japan, Russia, and India. On a particular day, presentation of the 6 scientists are scheduled. The German scientist's presentation is the only presentation between the presentations of Russian and Indian. there are three presentations between the presentations of the French and the Japanese. So using this data, can you tell me how many presentations are there after the German scientist's presentation? Like the theater one? Okay. Are you sure, Shubham? Yes, Hituj, that's correct. Correct, man. Sakshi, no. Yes, Shreya. Okay. So let's say what the data says. It says that the German scientist presentation is the only presentation between Russian and Indian. So German is between the Russian and the Indian. But German could also be between Russian and Indian like this. Correct? So two possibilities. Now, there are three presentations between French and Japanese. So already three presentations here. So French and Japanese के बीच में three presentations could be like this, or French and Japanese के बीच में three presentations. Similarly, French and Japanese or French and Japanese. Now, where is the American? Either the American could be here or here or here or here. So guys, there are 8 different ways in which I could have the arrangements. And in all of these presentations, do I know, right, whether Americans are a bit before or after? So after German, if America is in the beginning, there could be 2 presentations. But American presentation could be at the end, which means there could be 3 presentations also. I don't know if it is 2 or 3. So my best possible answer cannot be determined. I do not know. I could have 2 or I could have 3. So I cannot determine the exact answer in this case. Too many possibilities. Did you get that? Right? You have to consider all the possibilities. Right. Moving ahead to the next. Now the same question. In an international conference, blah, 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 what do we need? German is the only presentation between Russian and Indian. So German between Russian and Indian. Right? 3 presentations between French and Japanese. So French 3 presentations and Japanese, or Japanese 3 presentations and French. But now we have more information. It says, if the Russian scientist is before the American, that means American, we know for sure, is at the end, right? The Russian is before the American. So American is definitely at the end. And the Japanese is immediately after the Indian. So Japanese is immediately after the Indian, which means French is here. So this is my exact order. Now can you tell me the Russian scientist is at which position? Now it's pretty simple. The Russian scientist, now we can say for sure, is at the second position. Did you get it? How we managed to get the exact answer to this question? Right? If there is any confusion, definitely ask. Okay? So now we know exactly the position of the 6 for this particular question. Okay. Now, 4 cars, C1, C2, C3, C4, they are participating in a car rally, right? They're participating in a car rally. They have to travel from P to Q and then to R. Right? You are observed that the digit in the car number and the order in which they depart or arrive at any point is not the same. The first car to leave P is the second car to reach R. The first car to reach R is the second car to leave P, and the last car to reach R. Which is the first car to leave P? We have done this similar question, right? We have done a question very similar to this. So mostly you should understand the logic and be able to work it out. It may take some time, but you know how to do it. You only have to think what can be the possible combinations. Gia got it. Others, nope, not so far. See, pretty simple. So again, the 4 numbers, they cannot match, right? And we already have a number of the car C1, C2, C3 and C4. Now we know the first car to leave P is the second car to reach R. So I can have neither C1 nor C2 as this, because the first car to leave P is the second car to reach R. So 1 and 2 is already taken. So either it is C3 or C4. Now we also know the first car to reach R is the second car to leave P, and the last car to reach Q. Last car is 4. So 1, 2 and 3, this definitely has to be C3, right? Because all 4 numbers are different. So if C3 is the second car to leave P, the first car definitely has to be C4. That's my answer. All 4 numbers are different. So simple. Did everybody understand this one? It's just a matter of looking at the numbers. All 4 numbers should be different. So you can simply eliminate 2 cars with the first clue and 1 car using the second clue. Right? Let's take it once again. See, there are 4 cars. Now the first clue says that the first car to leave P is the second car to reach R. So car could be either 3 or 4 because 1 and 2 is already there. So car number में 3 या 4 ही हो सकता है. So these two answers are eliminated. Correct? Right? Now, Hetuj, why is it necessary to have all 4 numbers different? Because the digit in the car number and the order in which they depart or arrive at any point is not the same. Why should the digits be different? Because it is given in the question. Did you get that, Hetuj? क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है, सारे नंबर्स अलग होंगे, राइट? चलो, अब सेकेंड क्लू क्या कहता है? द फर्स्ट कार टू रीच आर इज द सेकेंड कार टू रीच पी एंड द लास्ट कार टू क्यू. सो 1, 2 and 4 नंबर यूज हो चुका है. सो दिस मस्ट बी कार 3. सो इफ दिस इज कार 3 देन पहले वाले में कार 4 ही हो सकता है. सो C4 इज माई आंसर. Now did you get it, man? Easy, right? It looks complicated, but technically it's a very, very easy problem. Okay, same one. Which is the second car to reach Q? So C1, C2, C3 and C4. Now we know in the previous question itself P1 is C4. C4 is the first car to leave P, the second car to reach R. C3 is the second car to leave P and the last car to reach here. So अब let's fill in the blanks. 4 के साथ P1, P2, तो this will be Q3. 3, 2 and 4, so this should be R1. अभी P, R and Q. Let's fill in these blanks. P, R and Q. अब P1 and 2 तो हो नहीं सकता. अब Q से स्टार्ट करते हैं, right? 3 and 4 आ चुका है, तो obviously this should be 1 and this should be 2. राइट? C1 के साथ Q1 नहीं आ सकता. सो दिस इज 1 एंड दिस इज 2. नाउ गोइंग विद दैट 1, 2, 3 and 4 मेरे पास बाकी है. सो आई कैन पुट 3 हियर एंड 4 हियर और 3 हियर एंड 4 हियर. बट अल्टीमेटली सेकेंड कार टू रीच Q ही फाइंड करना है एंड दैट इज C1. सो माई आंसर इज A. Did everybody understand this? Right? It's like playing that game of Sudoku. Just numbers कौन से आ सकते हैं वही फिट करना है आपको. Okay. The third car to reach R. Now this is simple. We have already solved it. The third car to reach R. Look at the table. R3 1 भी हो सकता है, 2 भी हो सकता है, right? And there is no way of finding out कि इन दोनों में से 3 कौन सा है and 4 कौन सा है, right? So what should be my answer? The third car to reach R cannot be determined. It could be the first or the second. It could be car 1. It could be car 2. There is no way we can answer that question. So definitely cannot be determined. Correct? Okay. Chalo. Now this is a bit long but interesting question. A train travels from A to E with the intermediate stations being B, C and D. Total 10 parcels with code number 101 through 110 were transported between the stations. They were transported based on the following conditions. Only 4 parcels 101, 104, 105 and 107 were loaded at A. and one among these was unloaded at B, one at C, and two at D. 102 and 106 were unloaded at C, and 108, which was loaded at B, was unloaded at E. Only one parcel was loaded at D, which is 103. Only two parcels were unloaded at D, and 101 was unloaded at C, the station immediately after the station at which 105 is unloaded. The number of parcels which were loaded at different stations was different, and the number of parcels which were unloaded at different stations was different. No parcel is loaded at E, no parcel is unloaded at A. Understand this data. It looks complicated, right? But if you do it step by step, believe me, it's a very, very simple puzzle. I'll give you some time to understand and try to solve it, but don't get frightened. Dikhne mein it looks complicated, guys. Believe me, the first time I saw, for a second I thought it is very difficult. But when I started doing it step by step, it is very easy. Param has already got the answer. Very good. Okay. Nah, 0 is not the answer. Come on, I'll give you about a minute more and then let's see. Okay, still struggling with it, guys. 30 seconds and then we'll take a look at the solution. Right. So what is said? That you have 5 stations, right? A, B, C, D and E. So some things are loaded at the station and some things are unloaded from the station. Right? Now, only 4 parcels 101, 104, 105 and 107 were loaded at A. So I'm just going to use the last digit, right? So 1, 4, 5 and 7 were loaded at A, and out of them 1 was unloaded at B, 1 was unloaded at C and 2 of them were unloaded at D from 1, 4, 5 and 7. I don't know which one. Now 102 and 106, 2 and 6 were unloaded at C, and 8 which was loaded at B was unloaded at E. Now only one parcel was loaded at D, which is 103. So this is individual 103, no more parcels. Only 2 parcels were unloaded at D. So at D only 2 parcels were unloaded. These 2 are exclusive. And 101 was unloaded at C, right? So from this 101 was unloaded here. The station immediately after the station at which 105. So 105 was unloaded here. Now from 1, 4, 5 and 7, 1 and 5 have been unloaded at B and C. So the remaining 4 and 7 would be the ones unloaded at D. The number of parcels loaded at different stations are different. So if total 4 parcels are here and 3 parcels are here, then among these two, one of them has only 1 and one of them has only 2, right? No parcel is loaded at E. So nothing is loaded here and nothing is unloaded here. Did you get the numbers so far? Did you understand the data so far? Okay. Now, for 2 and 6 to be unloaded here, they cannot be loaded at C. C पे ही चढ़ा के C पे ही नहीं उतारोगे. That means 2 and 6 have to be loaded at B. So 4 of them, 3 of them, 1 of them. So जो दो बाकी हैं 9 and 10, they will definitely be loaded at C. Did you get it? And if 3 was loaded here, the only place where it can be unloaded is E. So we have got the data so far. We know this much. Is everybody comfortable with the data so far? Did everybody understand how we got these numbers of loading and unloading? So now, how many parcels were loaded at C? Loading at C. How many of them? Number 9 and number 10. So total 2 parcels were loaded here. That's simple. Correct? Now, same data. Which 2 parcels travel through the maximum number of intermediary stations. Maximum number of intermediary stations. We'll go back to the data and check which parcel numbers are traveling the maximum. So see, 3 तो नहीं है because it is traveling no intermediary station, but 4 and 7 पहले में चढ़ जाते हैं and D पे ही जाके उतरते हैं. So numbers 4 and 7 are the two which are traveling the max. So this definitely is option E. Number 4 and number 7 are traveling the maximum distance among all of them. Got this one? Okay. Now, which among the following combinations of stations and parcels which are loaded and unloaded at that station is true? If you have written down the loading unloading wala thingy, then you just have to check the options. If you have noted down the table of loading unloading correctly, then you just have to check each of the options and see which one is correct. Yes, Jia. Yes, Hriday. So this is straightforward based on the data that we have already seen, that C, 9 and 10 are loaded and 1 to 6 are unloaded. This is very easy once you have solved the entire table. Okay, now another set. In a parking, there are 8 cars of different companies with 4 cars adjacent to each other on one side and other 4 opposite to them. The following information is known about them. Tata is between Mercedes and BMW. Maruti is parked to the right of Fiat on the same side. Toyota is opposite to Fiat and both of them at an extreme end. Ford is parked opposite to Tata. Hyundai is opposite to BMW and both of them at an extreme end. And Ford is exactly between Hyundai and Maruti. First, solve this, get the entire arrangement. There are multiple questions based on this. Getting it? Yes, Manushi. Sakshi, no. Okay, let's take a look at it. So it is given that Tata is between Mercedes and BMW. So Tata is between Mercedes and BMW. So Tata could be between Mercedes and BMW, even like this, right? So two arrangements. Now, Maruti is to the immediate right of Fiat on the same side. But where are they? We don't know. So we can't use it. And Toyota is opposite to Fiat and both at an extreme end. Again, without the position of Fiat, I can't do it. Fourth one says Ford is opposite to Tata. So Ford is opposite to Tata, right? So now I can place Ford, and Ford is opposite to Tata. Hyundai is opposite to BMW. Hyundai is opposite to BMW, and both of them are at an extreme end. That means nobody is either on the right hand side of this or on the left hand side of this. Now, it says Ford is between Hyundai and Maruti. Now, Ford is between Hyundai and Maruti. So, Ford is between Hyundai and Maruti. Now, Maruti is to the immediate right of Fiat. If Maruti is here, it cannot be on the immediate right of Fiat. But if Maruti is here, then immediate right of Fiat is possible. And Toyota is opposite of Fiat, and also they are at an extreme end. So this perfectly becomes my arrangement. So cars diagonally opposite, these are the diagonally opposite cars, right? We don't have Toyota and Hyundai as an option. So Fiat and BMW is the only one which matches this criteria. Hence option C. Did you get it? Everybody got this one? Good. So now based on the same data, which car is opposite to Maruti? Just refer to the diagram. Which car is opposite to Maruti? Should be easy to answer, right? Mercedes is opposite to Maruti. No doubts there. Now, if the positions of Ford and Tata are swapped, that is interchanged, then which car is parked to the immediate left of Hyundai? Now, the arrangement which we got was Toyota, Mercedes, Tata, BMW, Fiat, Maruti, Ford, and Hyundai. Now, if it says if Ford and Tata are swapped, right, that means this becomes Tata and this becomes Ford. Then now who's on the immediate left of Hyundai? The answer is Tata. Correct. Now, If Fiat and BMW are interchanged, then which car is opposite to Toyota? So Toyota, Mercedes, Tata, and BMW. Fiat, Maruti, Ford, and Hyundai. And if Fiat and BMW are interchanged, right? Fiat and BMW are interchanged. Then who is opposite to Toyota? Obviously, now the car opposite to Toyota is my BMW. Which car is opposite to Mercedes? Come on, repeat. मारुति का ऑपोजिट मर्सिडीज था तो मर्सिडीज का ऑपोजिट मारुति होगा. Right? Straightforward, nothing much to do in this question. Okay. Now a similar arrangement puzzle. If you got the previous one, then you should get this one also. It's very similar. Previous one cars, this one actors. Come on, guys, getting it? No answers yet? Okay. Yes, Tuti, correct. Okay, Man and Shreya also got it. Okay. So in a multiplex movie theater, 8 screens arranged in 2 rows, right? 4 on each side. So let's assume that they are facing each other. So for these guys, this is left, this side is right. But whoever is on this side, for them, this side will be considered left and this side will be considered right. So 4 English movies, 4 Hindi movies, blah 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 blah. Okay. Now Ben's movie is screened on a screen opposite to which Amir is there. So let's put Ben in a position. So Ben, the opposite is Amir. Now Ben's movie is on a screen opposite to screen on which Amir, and left of the screen to which Jackie. Now Ben is to the left of Jackie. So Jackie is actually here. For Jackie, this side is left because they are facing the opposite direction, right? So neither Arnold nor Ben is being screened at the screen which are at any of the ends, right? So our Ben is not the end, that means somebody is here. And Arnold, if he is here, then Arnold is an end, which is not possible. So this definitely needs to be Arnold, right? Leaving only Tom. So we have got these 4 people. Now Shah Rukh is opposite to Arnold. So Shah Rukh Khan is opposite to Arnold. And Salman is left of Amir. So if Salman is left of Amir, the only person left is Akshay, which is at this position. So opposite to Tom, the one that we have is Akshay. Got it? Okay. So now that you have got this one, moving on to the next one then. Again, simple. Very similar to the previous one. Come on guys, this should not take much time. Yes, Manushi. Arushi, yes. Mana, Man, no. Getting it? See, so there are 6 police officers, and when police officers are marching, all of them will be facing the same direction, right? So there are 3 in the front and 3 in the back. Now each officer in the back row has one officer exactly in front of him. Okay? W and X are the extreme end of 2 different rows. Extreme end, I don't know which row, so I keep it as it is. Now Y is to the right of U. So let's say that Y is to the right of U and in front of V. So Y can be to the right of U and Y is in front of V like this. And Z is exactly behind W. So if Z is exactly behind W, then the only person left is X, and W and X are in the extreme rows, right? Alternatively, if U, Y and V was like this and I put W here, right, then W and X at 2 extreme ends, could I have made it, right? Y is to the right of U, in front of it. Z is exactly behind it. So if Z is here, then who is left? X is left. Which of the following statements, now does this match all the conditions? Now this does not match the condition that X has to be an extreme end. So I know for sure this is the only arrangement which is correct. And according to this, Z and U are at the extreme ends, which makes my right answer as option B. Right? Now did we get it? I hope everybody got this one now. Okay, try this one. Simple circular arrangement. Try this and then I'll show you. More confusing. Hriday, which one was confusing? The previous one? Got it, na? Yeah, it's not that difficult. Good. Yes, Sakshi, no. The others got it. Sakshi, no. Check it once. See, round table, 6 people. So in a round table, if there are 6 people, we will arrange them 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, right? And we will always place the first person here and go in this direction for left. So it says that Bob is between Charles and Elena. So Bob can be between Charles and Elena like this, or Bob can be between Charles and Elena like this. So Bob is between Charles and Elena and opposite to Andy. So in either case, Andy is in this position. Now Douglas is to the left of Elena. If this is Elena, Douglas cannot be on the left because the place is occupied, which means my outside row is wrong. So Douglas is to the left of Elena, leaving only Fred in this position. So who is sitting opposite to Douglas? Definitely my answer is Charles. Did everybody get this one? Sakshi, did you get this? Okay, good. Chalo. Similar one. In fact, the same one. Who is sitting to the left of Bob? So person sitting to the left of Bob. We go clockwise for left, right? So person sitting left of Bob is simple, Elena. So left of Bob is definitely Elena. Now, let's just put up the arrangement first and then we can answer this question. So my arrangement is A, D, B. What is my arrangement? A, F, C, B, E, D. Okay. A, F, C, B, E and D. Okay. So each person interchanges place with the person sitting opposite. Right? If each person changes place with the person sitting opposite, which means now this is B, this is A, this is C and this is D, this is E and this is F. Then who is sitting on the right hand side of Charles? Fred. Everybody has interchange position. All the opposites have interchange position, Kunika. So right hand side of Charles is now F, Fred. Did everybody get this one? Correct. Okay. If Elena interchanges her place with the person opposite to Bob, that is, this becomes F and this becomes E. Then who is to the right of Fred? Who is sitting to the right of Fred? Did everybody get this one? Sorry. My AFC, the diagram I made wrong. B, E and D. Okay. Elena interchanges her position with the person sitting opposite to Bob. So this becomes E and this becomes A. So now who is sitting to the right of Fred? That is Elena. None of these. Correct? I made the original. I did not copy the diagram correctly. This is the new arrangement. Now did everybody get this one? Okay. Chalo. Now, another question. No, the same one. Now, if Andy interchanges place with Douglas, so Andy and Douglas, they interchange their place. Fred with Elena. So Fred with Elena and Bob with Charles. Bob and Charles, they also interchange. Then which of these following statements is true? There are two persons sitting between Bob and Douglas. No, either one or three. Elena is sitting to the right of Fred. No. Douglas and Charles are sitting opposite each other. That's correct. Right? Statement C is definitely correct. Got this one? Okay. Now try this one. Slightly typical one, but not difficult. No, Arushi. See, now there is a circular table and 4 couples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Right? 8 people, 4 couples means. And every husband sits to the right of his wife. That means all the males are alternatively seated and all the females are alternatively seated. And wherever a female is sitting, the husband is to the right of his wife. That means this is a couple, this is a couple, this is a couple, and this is a couple. Did we understand it so far? Okay. Now PQRS are the husbands. So PQRS, they are all males, which means T, U, V and W, they are all females. We also know that Q and U is a couple, R and V is a couple. Chalo. S does not sit next to V. That does not really help us in placing them. Now it says V sits to the left of P. So now I start my placement. So if I put this, if I put P here, now T sits to the left of P, which means T's placement is here, left of P. Who sits opposite S? That is P sits opposite of S. So I get S's position also. Right? Now, S does not sit next to V. If S does not sit next to V, which can be V's position? V is a female. V cannot be in these two positions. That means the position of V is pretty much here. And if this is V, this must be R, because V and R are a couple sitting. And Q and U is another couple. They must be next to each other. So Q and U, Q is male and U is a female. Putting them here. The only person left is W. So I get W in this position, and that is how my 8 people are seated. So Q is sitting between these two parties, that is U and T, or T and U as the option says. So option B is my answer. Did everybody get this one? I hope there is no confusion. Got it, right? Okay. Chalo. Now it's just answering the questions. Who sits to the right of W? Look at the diagram and tell me who sits to the right of W. For right, we go anti-clockwise, right? Always remember, left hand side, you go like this. Right hand side, you go like this. So right of W is S. Hriday, left right ka locha mat maro. Okay. Now, again, let me first give you the diagram. The original diagram mein we have S, U, Q, T, P, V, R and W. If P interchanges his place, with the person who sits opposite to R, right? Opposite to R is Q. So P and Q, if they interchange their place, disregarding the condition that husband and wife sit together, then who sits to the right of you? Right of you. Again, right side के लिए we go anti-clockwise. Mana. So right of you is P. Option C. Guys, in a circle, please don't confuse left and right. Always take the bottom as the reference, because the person sitting here is facing like this. तो इसके लिए ये side left होगा. So remember, we go like this in the circle, that is left. The opposite side is right. I hope you understood left and right in this case. Okay. Now, if every husband, now the original arrangement was S, U, Q, T, P, V, R and W. If every husband interchanges his position with the person sitting opposite to him, that means S and P they interchange, Q and R they interchange. Then who sits between S and R? Straightforward, T. Right? Once you get the original arrangement, then it becomes very easy to solve the entire question. Once you get the original arrangement, then it is very easy to solve the entire question. Who sits between P and Q? In the original arrangement between P and Q, it is T. Chalo. Let's take one last question. One last question, because many people have exited. One last question before we call it a day. Try this. Are you getting this one? Yes, Mana, that's right. Gia also got it. So 8 people in a circle. S is to the immediate right of W, right? So we put S here and this side is the right. So S is to the immediate right of W. V is not next to R or T, but we can't place any of them. W is to the immediate right of T, who is sitting opposite of R. Right? U and W are sitting opposite to each other. V is not next to R or T. So V is not here or here. That means this is the position for V. And that's all the positions that we know. Right? Who is left? We do not know P and Q. If this is P, then this may be Q. Or this may be P. And this may be Q. So now, who is sitting to the right of T? For T, right hand side is this. So the person sitting sorry, to the right of you, the person sitting to the right of you, going in the anti-clockwise direction, it is option B. Man, got it? Okay. If R and V interchange their place, then who is opposite of T? If R and V interchange their place, then opposite of T becomes V. So, if R and V interchange their place, then opposite of T will be V. Who is sitting two places to the right of W? Now, my arrangement, I'll just put it up. This is V, U, R, I don't know, S, W, T, and I don't know. Two places to the right of W. One place, two place. Who is sitting here? Big question mark. We don't know who is sitting here and hence cannot be determined. Right? If V is to the immediate left of P, V is to the immediate left of P, that means P's position was fixed here for the next question and Q became fixed here. Then who is to the immediate left of R? Immediate left of R is Q. Right? Once we know the exact diagram, all the questions are easy to solve. Now, who is sitting opposite to S? Opposite to S is V. So that's it, guys. We will end our session here. I hope you were able to understand all the different puzzles that we did today. Right? Some of them, they looked difficult, but once we did them step by step, they were pretty easy to understand. Okay, so if there are any questions, any doubts, I'll be hanging around. You can ask me. Else we are done for the day. You may exit the session. Have a good day and stay safe.